Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to take a look at Carnival Freedom to help you understand if booking this cruise is the right decision for you, your loved ones, and your family. Even though this is a pretty short video, I go through a lot to help you understand what exactly you can see and do on board. And let's get started by the boarding process. Getting on board was not challenging at all. It took me around 35 minutes to get from my car until walking through the gangway of the ship, which in my opinion is pretty good. Once you step on board, the first thing you step into is the Atrium, and it goes up several floors. It has an older look to it. In my opinion, it kind of looks like a starship, so it's not, in my opinion, the greatest space. The ship is old and it shows in the Atrium. Some people like it, some people don't. It really depends on your taste, but for me, I was not really overwhelmed. There's a lot of things that happen in the Atrium, like live music during the nighttime. There's the guest services down here too, as well as a nice bar. So it is a nice space, the nicest interior space on the ship. However, it just wasn't something that really I appreciated. The next place that we're going to go is the pool deck, and that's located on deck 9. And the reason why we're going there is because that's the location of the sail away party. Now, there are 2 pools on board, and this is one of 2. It's not a huge pool. It is the main pool. It's open for everyone. And you can see that there are 2 whirlpools here, and it's a pretty expansive space. One of the things I really enjoy about this area is that you can be on one of the tiered levels and really have an experience of the entire space. It is great because every place you are is a great place to have a view of the main action that's happening down on the pool deck. There is a water park that's on one of the upper tiers, and it is a very small water park. If you're looking for one of these huge expansive areas where your kids can roam and have a great, water park experience, you're going to be disappointed. It's a small space and there are 2 slides. The slides were fairly good, but it's not necessarily a great water park. There are 2 whirlpools on the pool deck that are invaded by kids, and also there is plenty of seating all the way around. Let's head on into the main buffet, which is also located on deck 9. There are lots of things on the 9th deck. When it comes to the buffet, I look for quality as well as variety. When it comes to quality, it's typical as to what you would expect from a Carnival ship. Nothing new here. Also, when it comes to variety, this is where I felt it was lacking. There wasn't anything bold, new, or interesting. So a lot of the food was repetitive. It wasn't necessarily something that I enjoyed. The food I thought was okay, but the variety is definitely, in my opinion, lacking. When it comes to beverages, lemonade and a fruit juice is included with your online fare, all you can drink when it comes to that. However, they have really small, tiny cups, and I saw lots of people who brought their own cups on board just so it could hold more drink. The main buffet isn't the only thing in town. There are other free included restaurants to include Guy's Burger Joint. This was a huge favorite. There was always a line, but the line moved relatively quickly and the food here tastes terrific. Also, Blue Iguana Cantina, not quite as popular as Guy's Burger. However, the food here and the quality is still pretty outstanding. There is also Pizza Pirate. This is also on deck 9. All of these are on deck 9, by the way. And this is on the other side of the pool deck, which is where the adult pool is. There's an adult pool here. It's a smaller pool than the main pool, but it also has 2 whirlpools that are adult only. So if you're looking for an adult space where you can get away from the kids and all of the craziness associated with that, there is an adult pool area, which is absolutely great. Let's now go to the main dining hall. There are 2 main restaurants on board. One that's located dead smack in the middle of the ship, and the other to the aft, which is the rear of the ship. In my opinion, the better of the 2, just because of location and the ability to have natural sunlight and a window seat, is going to be the one to the aft, and that's called the Posh Restaurant. So if you have a choice between the 2, definitely choose that restaurant. Now, when it comes to the food, they're going to be identical, so you're not going to get a better service in either restaurant or better food. When it comes to the staff service, it was okay, no problems here. The better service is going to come when you have a fixed dining time. There is anytime dining, means you can come to the dining hall whenever you want and eat. However, I found that there to be a 10 to 15 minute wait, regardless whether or not you made your reservation. Also, when you are here during that time, there tends to be slow service with the food. It's something that I think happened regularly enough on our cruise that I needed to point it out. So the dining food is great. However, the service tends to be a bit slow. If you have a birthday, anniversary, or any kind of special celebration that you want an upscale experience, there is the Sun King restaurant available on the 10th floor. There is free coffee available, but we talked about the coffee station within the main dining hall, which is an additional add-on. There's also Java Blue, that's a coffee spot on the 5th floor. That's also an add-on. And there are two other restaurants I want to talk about that are additional costs. The first one is going to be Seafood Shack. I thought the food there was excellent and it was a good value for the price. Also, there is Bonsai Sushi. I saw nobody frequent this restaurant at all, but that's also available at an additional cost. When it comes to entertainment, the main place that you're going to find this is going to be the main theater, which is lush and in fantastic shape. I don't believe they touched this during the refurbishment, and there's no need. There are Broadway type shows here that has screen walls behind dancers that are dancing towards choreographed music. So the performance is great except for the singing, which I thought was less than exceptional. It was really, in my opinion, very bad. There are other entertainment venues scattered throughout the ship. The main one is going to be in the Atrium, where most of the entertainment took place. Also, I found that the standout entertainment values for me was going to be the Comedian. They were, in my opinion, top notch, as well as karaoke. That's usually hit or miss, but usually for me, it's hit. And on this sailing, it was pretty good vibes. Really enjoyed the karaoke on board. Outdoor movies are done on the main pool deck, and there's a nightclub, and in my opinion it was really a lackluster experience. Most people didn't want to dance and just sat around and watched little kids on the dance floor, so in my opinion that was not necessarily a standout experience. There is a sports deck, however it's a small ship, so when you think about the sports deck, you're looking at something that's not very large. There's a pickleball court as well as a half basketball court and a huge skylight in between that took up a lot of floor space. Right above the pickleball court and the sports deck is going to be a putt-putt golf course that is in fantastic shape. It looks like it was brand spanking new. Surrounding that is going to be a small jogging track. It's great because you get the outdoors, you get great views, and you get that wonderful sea breeze. There are an assortment of table games on board. My main challenge was that it was scattered throughout the entire ship, so they were hard to find. However, they were all available. We talked about the adult swimming pool earlier. However, there's also a Serenity area where it's just for adults and people over the age of 21. It has the most lush seating of any place on board. So it had really lush deck chairs, it had a bar, and it had two whirlpools that had fantastic view. It was rarely used and it's a great adult space. And the question is, do kids invade this area? And the answer is no. If you're into gambling, then you want to head to Deck 5 because that's the location of the Babylon Casino. It has an assortment of table games and slot games, but keep in mind, this is a small ship, so you're not going to find every single gambling option available, but it does have all the familiar favorites. It is a smoking casino, so you have to walk through the casino to get to other portions of the ship, but all in all, a well-equipped casino. If you like the spa, fitness, and wellness, there is a spa on board. There's also a well-equipped gym. The gym was fantastic. It looked like it was brand new. All the equipment in there is for sure new. The flooring is new. Everything in there is new, and it looks absolutely fantastic. There are lots of bars on board. If you're going to drink on board, I recommend you get the alcohol package. It will save you money, and get it before you actually board to save the most. But there are plenty of drinking spots located all throughout the ship. There is plenty of shopping on board and opportunities for you to take photographs with professional photographers. Now let's take a look at the cabin. The cabin you're looking at right now is going to be the smallest interior cabin available on board. I think Carnival Freedom is a pretty good value. For me, I paid $549 for 4 nights stopping at 2 different ports in the middle of the summer during the high season. I thought that was a pretty good value. So to answer the $1 million question, is this a good value for you? The money, is it worth your time as well as your money? And the answer to both of those questions is a resounding yes.